is
It's a
that a
little
penthouse
cloudy
cruise?
outside, a little cloudy outside, but it's doing its thing.
Oh, that's sweet.
This is actually the one from Celebrity Edge, but it looks very similar to on Celebrity Apex.
I was fortunate enough to get to walk in and see the one on the edge, man. That was nice.
It's bigger than my apartment, and that's a true story.
It's more room than anybody needs, but it's still, I mean, what luxury, or if you had like your family or something, right? All right, everybody, as you're signing in, we're going to go ahead and get started. It's 1 o'clock, so welcome to our next edition of CTE Live, where we talk about cruising and travel and what's coming up and when COVID's going away and all kinds of good things like that. So today, as our special guest, I have Mr. Carl Cruz. You did hear that last name right. He is the cruise meister. Carl, how's it going?
It's another day in paradise. I'm super excited because I'm not talking about canceled cruises or FCCs or anything like that today. I'm talking about packing your suitcases and getting on board.
Me too. I mean, resumption of sailing. I mean, I've been waiting for this presentation for about a year.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So Carl is with Celebrity Cruises, and he's in the iconic suite right now. And he's going to talk, the way we're going to do this today is Carl's going to talk about the resumption of sailing, which is 2 particular ships. One of them is brand new. He's going to tell you all about that. And in general, and you could join any of these sailings that Carl's going to talk about. And then at the end, I'm going to cover one particular sailing that is one we're doing a private group that is all inclusive and has a tour component in Athens, and then we go to Jerusalem, and I'm going to talk all about that at the end. And we'll have a special offer if you want to join any of the cruises, and then an even more special offer if you want to join me on our group cruise. So a little bit of housekeeping real quick. If you have any questions, there is a chat box. That's the best place to put your questions, Q&A, or you can just email Michael at mgatravel.com. Of course, if you're watching this online, you can always call 843-279-0310. And well, Carl, why don't you take it away? Tell us what's going on with the resumption of sailing.
Absolutely. Can everybody see my screen? Is it up?
I can see it.
All right, perfect. Well, I'm super excited to be here today, and I appreciate everyone joining us. Like I was saying earlier, we're talking about some very positive news, and let's see where our slide's going to work. There we go. Our someday is actually here. For like the last year, I've been doing these presentations talking about, the CDC and maybe and what could happen and hopefully will happen. But now we know what's happening, at least on these 2 products. So we're super excited to tell you a little bit about our new baby, the Celebrity Apex. Celebrity Apex was slated to come out last April in Europe. And as we all know, COVID took over and we really haven't had any ship sailing on the Celebrity brand for over a year now. So Celebrity Apex, the newest of the Edge class ships, has not even had a guest visit her or sleep in one of her beds as of yet. So we're really excited to bring up and show the world Celebrity Apex. She's going to start sailing out of Athens June 19th. You're seeing that correctly, this June, and doing some unique itineraries that we're really thrilled that we're able to do, and hopefully you'll be able to join us on. When we came out with Edge Class, we did something we've never done before. We went to 4 designers that have never designed a cruise ship to give a kind of fresh look, because in cruise ship designs, there's really 3 major designers out there. And when they design Royal Caribbean and Celebrity ships, in turn, they would also design the competitor ships. So we went with 4 fresh designers that you see here on the screen to really give it a new, fresh look to luxury cruising. Celebrity Apex is 1,004 feet long. She is the sister ship to Celebrity Edge. She's almost identical to Celebrity Edge. There's a few changes to her that I'll show you. She's 128 feet wide. She has 14 passengers decks. She'll hold 2,918 guests. Now, in saying that, for these itineraries, we're only going to sell about 50% of the ship. So you'll notice when you call Michael or one of his travel advisors and ask him about availability, we're only going to have verandas and higher, so balcony staterooms and higher, and we're only going to have about half the ship to sell. So it is somewhat urgent that we get booked if you really want to go, because we only have half the ship to sell, and there's 40 other sales reps just like me doing presentations like this for all our top accounts like Michael, trying to get their guests on first. So if you are interested in these, I don't want to rush you, but there is kind of a sense of urgency to make those bookings, because these dates are starting to sell out, being that we're only allowed to sell 40 to 50% of the ship. She does have some staterooms, Edge class, that we've never had before. And this is the iconic suite. And when I have my video back up, you'll see the background of it. There's 2 of them on board. They are bigger than my home. They're 2,600 square feet. The stateroom alone is 1,900 square feet. It has a 700 square feet veranda. It has 2 bathrooms, and it sleeps 6. And this is what it looks like. You'll see the major living area up there in the big picture. And then in the bottom there, you'll see the deck space where you actually have an outdoor area with a hot tub, your own lounge area. As Michael said, it's more than anyone needs, but it is modern luxury, new luxury at its finest. And for the first time ever, Edge and Apex also have Edge Villas, which is, there's 6 of them on board. They're 2 stories. They're 951 square feet. And what's unique about this stateroom is you walk in on the top level, and when you come down the stairs there, you'll have your own private 3-foot deep plunge pool. I tell a lot of my guests that if you really want to go on a cruise and never leave your stateroom, this is the kind of stateroom you want. You could order room service there. It actually walks right out to the retreat area, which is exclusive for our villa guests and our suite guests. And it is a beautiful, beautiful stateroom. And this is actually what it looks like when you walk in. So it has your bedroom there. It will sleep 4 guests because it does have a pull out downstairs. It has the 2 bathrooms, and it has the plunge pool. I'm gonna show you a quick video, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the infinite veranda, which is new for Edge.
We've replaced all of this structure with essentially nothing.
This engineering feat allowed for the creation of the new Edge staterooms with infinite veranda that are 23% larger than Celebrity's current veranda staterooms.
What I wanted to achieve here was to try and create lots of different experiences. I think in the Edge stateroom, when you walk in, you're going to know there's a difference. And for me, it was about coming up with a sort of light bulb moment of creating the studio so that you could have these kind of glass partition doors that opened where you could actually then have your terrace as part of your living space. I think we created something unique in the cruise industry.
Now, we do still have on the Edge class ship traditional verandas, but a lot of our Aqua class, Concierge class, our Edge staterooms, and our new class of staterooms, the Edge single, which I'm going to show you here in a second, all do have the infinite verandas. And if you are a single traveler, we developed the Edge single stateroom, and that's what it's called on Edge Apex as well, the Edge single stateroom. For those guests that travel along that don't want to pay that 200% single supplement, these are priced accordingly, usually about 140%, not the full 200%. And the main differences in this stateroom than the regular infinite veranda stateroom that you just saw in the video is it's about 85 square feet smaller, and it has a queen size bed rather than a king size bed, but it still has the infinite veranda stateroom with the parishional doors. It'll separate the balcony from the actual stateroom. And then it has the button on the wall that lets the window down to about chest high, and you're able to have an open air veranda. And then of course, the magic carpet on Celebrity Edge class. When Celebrity Edge came out, this was one of the highlights of the ship. It's never been done before, and it's a really unique aspect of our Edge class ships. And I'll show you a quick slide next. It'll have a little video to show you the multi-purposes that we use the magic carpet for, and I'll tell you a little bit about each one once the video is done. unique about the magic carpet is, as you saw in the first section of the video, when we do have to tender, this is the way that we will tender off of our Edge class ships. So those, what we call Edge launches, come right up next to the platform. You step right off into theater style seating with air conditioning to go ashore and to come back. From there, it stops on 3 additional decks. So it goes up to deck 5, and it extends what we call Raw, which is our seafood type restaurant. So guests can actually dine out if they would like. And it's sort of like a patio setting at a restaurant that you have now. From there, it goes up to the pool deck off of deck 13, and it has drinks, entertainment throughout the day. So guests can just step out, maybe enjoy a beverage and take in the views. And it just kind of extends the pool deck. And then on a couple of nights of each 7-night sailing, so it's usually 2 nights on a 7-night sailing, and we will offer it 3 nights on 7-night sailings or longer. It goes all the way to the top. We call it Dinner on the Edge. It's a specialty dining experience that'll seat 90 guests. That Dinner on the Edge is the only specialty restaurant that we can't pre-book. It has to be booked on board because it always is weather permitting. If the wind gusts are up, we don't want guests up there with cocktail napkins flying into the oceans. But if it is available and it's calm out, we will have that option available for you guys to go out and enjoy Dinner on the Edge if you would like. And then, of course, Eden. Now, Eden was on Celebrity Edge, but we tweaked it a little bit for Celebrity Apex. What's unique about it is it's decks 4, 5, and 6. And it's a really unique space because we have dinner there, and you can take in a show while you're doing the dinner, and it's a really unique experience. Also, there's a bar area in there. So every drink that you get from Eden, all the garnishes that go on top of the drinks are actually grown right there in Eden. So if it comes with a mint or anything like that, that's all grown right there behind the bartender and Eden. And you can actually sometimes see them go up the scale there and grab it and snip it freshly for you to put it on top of your beverage. So it's a really unique aspect of Celebrity Edge and Celebrity Apex. And then, of course, one of our new restaurants, Legrand Bistro. I'm going to show you what the first version looks like because it's on Celebrity Millennium here in a few slides. But for Celebrity Apex, we were able to put La Petite Chef 3.0 in, which is a unique type, almost like a dinner show, so to speak. When you sit down, you just see your plates. But then above you, you don't notice until the show starts, but there's projectors that come down onto these tabletops. And it's a really unique type of way to enjoy a meal, not just with the family. Michael and I were on board the Edge when we had the inaugural, well, I guess that was November of 2018 now. And it was really unique. We had a restaurant full of travel agents just tickled to death about this. And I actually have the video of what it looks like, but essentially what it does is it basically shows you what you're gonna have to eat and it does a little show around it. And then once the little chef guy is done doing it virtually or animatedly, the waiter's there to present the food there for you right as he's done, almost like he's prepared it in front of you. And then, of course, the retreat on Edge and Apex is a beautiful area exclusively for our suite guests. It's almost a ship within the ship. When you book a retreat, you have your own restaurant, as well as you'll have access to an exclusive sun deck, and also to what used to be called Michael's Club, which is now a lounge for those guests to go in and just get advice and maybe what to see, what to do, what to eat when we're in different ports of call, as well as it has different beverages and snacks throughout the day. So if you are interested in the retreat, it is a great value, and you will basically have a ship within a ship that kind of cuts you off from the rest of the guests on board. And then these are what the suites look like on Celebrity Apex. And you'll notice everything's going to look and feel the same now, even with our Millennium class, because prior to COVID coming along, we were taking in all of our ships and revolutionized them because Celebrity Edge was so well received in the marketplace that we wanted all the ships to look and feel just like our Edge class. And we really, Kelly Hoffman really did a great job with these suites on board Celebrity Edge class. And then Apex will also have a new craft social bar. So if you're into craft beers or maybe want to catch a game, it's deck 4. It's basically a location of the casino bar in Celebrity Edge. And it's a really unique place just to go in and get some comfort food bites, some cheese, and some great craft beer and wine. And then Edge class was the first class of ships for Celebrity where we didn't have one main dining restaurant. We actually have 4 main dining restaurants on Edge class, and Celebrity Apex, as you see here, will have Tuscan, Normandy, Cosmopolitan, and Cyprus. All of the menus are created by our Michelin star chefs, and 75% of each menu in each restaurant is the exact same. There's a small portion of each menu, about 25% of the menu, that's going to be different and unique to that restaurant. So when you do book, we do assign you to a restaurant, but if you would like to change and try Normandy one night or try Cyprus one night, you absolutely may. We just check in with the maitre d'. If you see something on that menu you want to try that evening, it's no issue for us to try the next restaurant. So when are these itineraries going and where are they going? They're going to start June 19th, so just here in roughly 60 days or so, and we're going to do a number of 6, 7, and 8 nights. Why are we only doing 6, 7, and 8 nights? Well, we want this to be successful, and Royal Caribbean has been in service since December out of Singapore and has already had roughly about 300,000 guests sail on her on the shorter itineraries. The CDC, when they came out with their conditional sail order, said that we couldn't do anything 7 nights or longer than 7 nights, even though the CDC doesn't govern the ports that we're going out of in Greece and the ports that we're going to visit. We're going to stick to that and use the protocols that we have submitted to the CDC to get us back sailing in the United States ports. And that's one of the reasons why we kept it to 6, 7, and 8 nights on these itineraries. Just for one reason, to show them, hey, we can do this, and we're doing this out of all parts of the world. So we really want to go out of Fort Lauderdale and Miami here in the future. But until then, we're going to use our partners around the world like Athens and St. Martin so we can get back to service. So we have a number of different itineraries that you can take advantage of all summer long, but they all are going to go round trip Athens. So we have an 8-night Greek Isles in Israel that actually does an overnight in Jerusalem. Then we have an 8-night Greek Islands in Cyprus. They'll all depart at 8:30 from Athens, Greece, and return to Athens, Greece. So it'll be round trip air through Athens. And then we'll have a number of 7 nights. So we'll have a 7-night Greek Isles and Cyprus. We'll have a 7-night Greek Isles and Israel that does not include an overnight, but it does visit Jerusalem for the full day. And then we'll have a 6-night Greek Isles and Cyprus. All of those will depart at 8:30 p.m. from Athens and return to Athens. And airfare, we have secured some great pricing on airfare. We noticed once we announced we were coming back to service, the air kind of doubled to a lot of these regions. So we grabbed some seats through our Choice Air program on each day for guests that want to sail with us. Out of major gateways, you'll see Atlanta, Boston, Charlotte. And the add-on we've noticed out of Myrtle Beach to go into Charlotte or Atlanta's not that much. So if you are interested in this, we do have great pricing on airfare. And if you are interested for first class and business class air, we have that available. And we'll also give a $200 per person discount savings if you are interested in business class or first class. Michael, as he told you earlier, has secured some group space on the September 11th sailing, the 7-night Greece and Israel that does not do the overnight in Jerusalem, but does visit Jerusalem for a full day. So he's actually going to tell you a little bit about the pre-nights he has set up for you folks at the end of the show, but he does have that secured for you guys. So if you are interested in traveling with Michael, it'll be a great time. I know the few times I've been on board with him, we've had a blast. He has that pricing and availability ready to go, and he'll tell you a little bit more about that at the end of the show. But this is the itinerary you guys will be doing, round trip Athens. It'll visit Santorini, Rhodes. We'll have a day at sea. Then we'll be in Jerusalem, Haifa, and then we'll have a day at sea before we return back to Athens. Our second ship that we're going to return to service is Celebrity Millennium. And a lot of people ask, well, why did you bring a Millennium class ship out? Well, we all know what's happening in Alaska this year, and the Millennium was the first ship we revolutionized. So she looks and feels just like Celebrity Edge. She holds about 2,000 guests. Again, we're only going to sell about half the ship. But being that she was going to sit idle basically all summer because the Alaska season's pretty much been scrapped at this point. There's still some hope maybe we'll get a tail end of the Alaska season if the CDC allows us to start selling out of U.S. ports this summer, like we hope they will. But we decided we're going to go ahead and put her to use going out of one of our best partners in St. Martin. So she'll have some great itineraries going out of St. Martin. But I included some pictures of Celebrity Millennium because if you've ever sailed on her in the past, she looks and feels much different than what you're used to because now she has the best aspects of Celebrity Edge that we could bring to her. The main difference is we don't have the infinite verandas like you saw in the video a few slides back, and we don't have the magic carpet because that actually messed with the structure of the ship if we tried to add those functions. but we tore this ship down to the iron, so it does look and feel just like Celebrity Edge on the inside. She'll start sailing June the 5th, so not far from now at all, and it will be round trip St. Martin. She's gonna have a few different itineraries for all 7 nights. There'll be one that'll be the ABC Islands, which Michael has held some group space on the July 3rd date, which I'll show you in a few slides and he'll tell you about. So if you want to spend July 4th on the beautiful Celebrity Millennium, we'll have that available for you. And then she'll have one itinerary that does 7 nights. It'll do BVI, St. Lucia, and Barbados. So a lot of opportunities to get away this summer. I know we've all been pretty much staying at home for over a year now. So it's a beautiful time to get away and go see some of the Caribbean islands with Celebrity Cruises. So let me show you a little bit about the beautiful Celebrity Millennium since she's been revolutionized. These are what the suites look like now. So you'll notice just like Celebrity Edge, they look and feel. Kelly Hoffman came in and brought the aspects from Celebrity Edge class to the Celebrity Millennium. Even the basic veranda stateroom looks and feels just like the Celebrity Edge class veranda staterooms. The only difference is it's going to be like a traditional balcony and veranda instead of the infinite veranda. We went through, redid all the public venues. So you'll see here, the Ocean View Cafe, the dining room, the casino, the outdoor deck space, all looks and feels just like Celebrity Edge class. And this is La Petite Chef, the original, which we do have on Celebrity Millennium now. And this is what I was telling you about, how to kind of show you the dessert and how the little chef makes it first. And then once he's done with it, the waiter's there to serve it. And when you sit down, it looks just like a regular table. And as you can see, everybody grabs their phone immediately and starts recording because it is very unique. And it's fun for everyone, really. And then, of course, we went and redid the main dining room, the Ocean View Cafe, the casino, the Rendezvous Lounge, and then the Sunset Bar, which is everybody's favorite place to be as we sail away from every port. And then the Rooftop Terrace, which is used for a lot of different sport. Like there's a great sporting event on, a game on. We'll have that going on. And we also do something called a taste of film. As you can see, this area is very easily social distance. So we can use that area to do a lot of different things while we're on board Celebrity Millennium. And then, of course, the shops and the spa, all beautifully redone on the Celebrity Millennium. And then if you are interested in a suite, we do have the Retreat on board. So you will have Luminé as your exclusive suite class restaurant. You'll have the Retreat Lounge and the Retreat Sun Deck. So everything that, if you've ever experienced it on Edge class, we do have it on the Celebrity Millennium as well. So she's going to start going out June the 5th. Again, she'll do a number of different 7-night itineraries, round trip St. Martin. The one that Michael actually held the space on was July 3rd, but you'll see the different itineraries here. Every itinerary departs out at 10 p.m. from St. Martin. So we'll have a day at sea, and then we'll visit some of the ABC Islands, and then we'll come back to St. Martin. And then this is the one that's going to include the British Virgin Islands, St. Lucia, and and Barbados. Again, round trip St. Martin, Saturday to Saturday. This actually has changed a little bit. We do have round trip flights as low as $350 now. We actually went back and got it even lower. So if you are looking to get away this summer, take a look when you call one of the travel advisors there with Michael Graham and Associates. Have them check Choice Air. I guarantee you we're ultra competitive when it comes to these two sailings. But I've even seen it with the add-on out of Myrtle Beach for around $550 or $600. If you go out of a major gateway, Atlanta, Charlotte, I've seen it as low as $350 on some of the days. And this is the itinerary that Michael has the group space on. So if you are looking to get away for the 4th of July, we'll do round trip St. Martin. We'll have a day at sea. We'll do the British Virgin Islands. No, this isn't the one you did, is it, Michael? You did the ABC Islands, correct?
Yeah, that's right. We have the ABC Islands.
I'm sorry, I apologize. He's got the one with the ABC Islands, but it does depart on July the 3rd. So when you do call in or you go and visit one of the travel advisors and they give you the pricing, all the pricing now with Celebrity comes with 3 perks. It's always included. It's going to be the classic drink package, the Wi-Fi, and the tips. If you choose to, I always tell everybody this is kind of like buying an iPhone nowadays. You got, the iPhone 12, the iPhone 12 Pro, and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. It's very similar now with Celebrity. You can get the always included if you would. It's our base pricing, so it'll come with those 3 perks. But if you would like, you do the Elevate. It's $30 more per person per day. It comes with the drink package, but it's the premium drink package. You'll still get the Wi-Fi. You'll still get the tips. And then this will also come with a ShoreX ODC. And then you can do Indulge if you like. It's $60 more per person per day. You'll get the premium beverage package. You'll get the Wi-Fi, but this time you're going to get the Stream, which is the ultra fast Wi-Fi. It'll come with the tips. It'll come with a ShoreX ODC and then an additional ODC. So we have something for everyone, but all of the pricing will include the drinks, the Wi-Fi, and the tips that we have for the groups. So how do you feel about traveling? We tried to cover all the bases. For the last year now, we've had our Cruise with Confidence policy, which if you book by May 31st, it allows you to cancel up to 48 hours before you sail and receive 100% future cruise credit. Or if the price does go down, which we don't see it really going down because this is really starting to take off, but if for some instances it does go down, you can get the price up to 48 hours before the ship sails. So there's really nothing to lose by booking. We want everybody to feel as confident and comfortable as possible. With our COVID-19 coverage, in the instance that you did test positive, we would take before you got on the ship or when we were returning, because we are going to give everybody the test to return home. In the rare case or in the case that it does happen, we will take care of the quarantine cost and the travel cost home. If you test positive prior to boarding the ship, you'll get 100% refund, as well as we'll take care of all the quarantine costs to get you back home to the States, as long as you book it by May 31st of 2021. And then, of course, you always can purchase the travel protection through us, but you do not have to purchase the travel protection to get the COVID-19 coverage or the Cruise with Confidence policy. I know Michael sometimes has some great insurance providers that he recommends, but we do have our travel protection as well. But you do not have to purchase our travel protection to get the Cruise with Confidence or the COVID-19 coverage. And then what are the requirements to sail? Because they have changed. And they are different for Greece and for St. Martin. But this will be the celebrity cruise requirement. So all of our guests 18 and older must be vaccinated, both shots to cruise. We'll take all 3 of them. I know the Johnson & Johnson is not really being used right now, but we will take the Pfizer and the Moderna one. That's not an issue. We also are going to require for St. Martin, guests show a negative PCR test taken within 120 hours or 5 days of getting on the ship. You will be tested at the beginning and the end of the cruise, so you can return home. All our crew will be vaccinated, and we will be at reduced capacity, about 40 to 50% of the ship, depending on the ship. We're going to announce additional information because we don't have all the protocols yet. There are still questions about, will I have to wear a mask in the public areas? Will I be able to get off the ship, or will I have to take a celebrity shore excursion? The reason why we don't have those answers yet is because each port of call that we visit is going to be different. They all have their own different guidelines and protocols, and they are changing every day. Because if you've listened to any of Richard Fain's videos, our science has really outran a lot of the protocols when it comes to the CDC and other countries with the vaccines and other protocols. So we really have gotten far more advanced than what we were back in October and November and December, when a lot of these protocols were put into place. But as soon as we have the information about whether or not you'll be able to get off the ship on your own or only be able to do celebrity shore excursions, we'll announce that as soon as possible. But there will be opportunities to do the celebrity sponsored shore excursions. That is 100% known for sure. And it will be in a bubble type atmosphere, and it'll be with vendors that we know and trust that are following the same protocols laid out, not only by celebrity, but by the ports that we are visiting. So there will be opportunities to get off the ship 100%. We just don't know if you'll be able to go off on your own yet, or you will have to be on one of the celebrity shore excursions. So kind of break it down between Greece and St. Martin, depending on whichever one you may be interested in. Prior to travel, obviously, we all need to be vaccinated at least 14 days prior to sailing. We'll need to show that negative test 5 days prior to arriving into St. Martin and 3 days prior to arriving into Greece. That is the St. Martin regulations and the Greece regulations. So as you know, we're going in a few days early with Michael on his Greece group. If you did want to go in early on St. Martin and you maybe want to stay earlier or later, you absolutely could. But just keep in mind that if you're going to stay longer than that 5 days, you're going to have to get your own PCR test, and they are easily attainable. A lot of the hotels are offering them now. I was just in Mexico. They offered them at the hotel as well as in the airports to get back to the States. So there are a lot of opportunities to get that test on your own, but we are going to take care of everybody that disembarks the ship before they leave to get a negative test so they can come back to the States. And then roughly about 1 or 2 days, you'll get that test prior, depending on when your flight information is coming home. And then for the show offer, if you book a balcony stateroom, and I say balcony because that's the only staterooms we have open are balcony and higher on both of these ships, for a couple of different reasons. We want everybody to have a good time and a good experience, and being that we can only sell 40 to 50% of the ship, we want to utilize the balconies because, as most of you know, Celebrity has on all their vessels, about 70% of the staterooms do have a balcony. So it's just easier for us to utilize the decks with the balconies and not really open up the inside ocean view staterooms for sale. So if you do book by this Friday, we're going to give you a $100 onboard credit for any of the Millennium or Apex dates. And if you book into one of Michael's group sailings, we'll double that. We'll give you a $200 onboard credit to spend in addition to the all-included, which will come with the drinks, the Wi-Fi, and the gratuities. So before I turn it over for questions, I'm going to send it back to Michael and let him share his screen and tell you a little bit about the pre-planning that he has done for the Greece trip. And then we'll take any questions you might have at the very end.
Okay, so I see some names on the call that are clients of ours, and I see some new names too. So I'll just real briefly go over who I am and what we do. My name is Michael Graham, and I'm president of Michael Graham and Associates Travel Investment Advisors. But to keep that short and sweet, we just call that MGA Travel. So that's how we answer the phone, and we put it on our invoices and everything else. So if you haven't traveled with us before, we hope you'll give us a shot. Our main office is based in Myrtle Beach. We are a storefront. That was Spencer was our official greeter, but unfortunately he's retired permanently, and we miss him a lot around here, but he's a good dog. My wife and I have been to all 7 continents. We've been to 70 plus countries. I haven't ever been to Israel, so going on this trip this September is going to be really special. It's on the Apex, so I was on the Edge in 2019, of the fall of 2019, on a Greek Isles cruise, and we had a ball. And I don't know if it was Petite Chef 1.0 or 2.0, but if there's a 3.0, I can't even imagine. Like, it must be 3D, or it's already so amazing. This is my team here. If you won't always deal with me, perhaps, but you'll be in good hands. And we have a very professional team and very well-traveled team as well. So anybody here can help you when you call or reach out. We've won plenty of awards. As you can see, we really specialize in groups and escorted groups, whether they're small hosted luxury groups or a really large group. This was the big one on the top left was 334 people. And when we have the larger groups, you'll see, like in the bottom, you'll see me and Troy and Elise. We're hosting a larger group there. But on this one for the Apex in September, we'll be a pretty small group, probably. It will be an Outlander group technically, so that gives you a chance to be an Outlander. Our Outlander Society is no extra charge and only has 2 rules, and that is no grumpy travelers and no discussion of politics while you're on holiday. So if you can do those for your cruise, then after this Apex cruise you go with us, you will officially be an Outlander. So what we've done is we've taken the Apex, which if it's anything like the Edge is an amazing ship, but I know it's probably even better because they probably made improvements where they can. We're going to add to that 7-night by adding 2 nights in front of it. And the reason we picked 2 nights is because you might have seen that currently that you need a 3-day test to get into Greece, and then Celebrity needs to see that test too. So this should allow that to happen. And if not, we can get an instant test in Athens to get on board if need be. And I don't know what September might bring. It might just be vaccination only by then, who knows? But at this time, we're going to tell you what they're saying. We're just glad they're letting vaccinated Americans into Greece and Israel so we can go on this cruise, right, Carl?
And hey, yeah, absolutely. And we had this in writing from Greece that this was going to happen beforehand. As you guys know, Greece was shut down for a while, and they wasn't going to open up to American travelers until the middle of May. But then they're so far ahead of the game that they actually allowed yesterday Americans to start traveling there as long as they're vaccinated and can show that negative test.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Thank God for the vaccines, right? At least
Right.
for now. Who knows what next year will bring, but for now, to go on these 2 cruises, we need to be vaccinated. Okay, so Athens is amazing. Jerusalem and the Greek Isles, also Haifa, as you saw, Carl, on there. So we're going to do 9 nights. It's going to be very inclusive, including on board. You will have the premium drinks, not just a classic beverage package. And we are going to include your tours in Jerusalem and Haifa. So we're going to go, and we're going to use celebrity shore excursions just to be on the safe side to make sure that we can do them. So we'll be doing, I'll show you those tours in a minute, but they're included in the fare, along with, we're staying at the Grand Bretagne, which is a 5-star plus. It's probably the nicest hotel in Athens. I've stayed there before. Like I said, I hosted a group there in 2019. And by the way, Carl, I saw you said you changed the name of Michael's. I mean, is it just because we're not booking anything lately or what? I mean, come on.
You know, Michael's Club started out being a cigar lounge when we first started as Celebrity, and it just kind of evolved into more than that. So now we've turned it into the Retreat Lounge. No
Awesome.
offense against Michael.
No, and I love the retreat, man. The cruise on the Edge was amazing. And on this one, mostly, like, I'm booked in an aqua class, and so are some of the other people that are already booked. And that gives us our own restaurant too, which is Blue. And that's pretty exciting. I like Blue. It's a great restaurant, and it's nice to have that sort of exclusivity. Okay, so included are these short excursions: Jerusalem, everything in Athens. So we'll have a city tour of Athens. We're going to go to the Acropolis. We're going to go to the Parthenon. We're going to go even further into that. We're going to have a private exclusive dinner there, and then we'll have a transfer to the ship. When we get on the ship, we'll have our wonderful cruise, and we'll include those 2 Israel shore excursions included, which is in the steps of Jesus, and then a tour of Nazareth and Galilee and Haifa. So Crete and Mykonos, you'll be on your own, assuming you can go on your own. The only thing it really doesn't include is international air. And I am guaranteed to host with 20 guests or more. Again, you do have to have your vaccination and negative PCR test. I'm going to kind of go through this pretty quick. This is the Grand Bretagne. I took all of these pictures personally, either me or my wife. This is when we were there hosting another Outlander group. It is beautiful on the outside. It used to be a palace. This is our hospitality table in the lobby. It's my lovely wife, Kelly. As you can see, it's a pretty property. Now, if you go up on the rooftop restaurant, people come from all over Athens just to take pictures up here, because that is the Acropolis right there, lit up at night. And we were just sitting there having dinner at the hotel, and this is the view from your hotel that you'll be staying at. And when you wake up in the next morning for your included breakfast, there's your view again. It's not too shabby, and it's surreal to be sitting there and just looking across at ancient history like that. And if you've never seen it, it's amazing. It really is. Then that next day, we'll be going to tour the Acropolis that you just saw. We'll be going all around there. You'll be close up and personal. There's no rules that say you can't touch it or anything like that. They're always doing a little bit of work on these types of UNESCO historical sites. Then the tour is going to include, we're going to go over to the museum of the Acropolis, which is inside, nicely air conditioned and everything else. And you can see the beautiful views. This museum is actually built to scale exactly the way the Parthenon is there. You can see on top of the Acropolis behind our group. And while you're in there, there's a lot of items that are sacred that they have brought in and stored in this museum. So you get to really see up close and personal. So for example, at the Acropolis, they have replaced these with replicas, and these are the actual ones are stored here in the museum, but you get right up close and personal. That night we'll have a group restaurant at this, a group dinner at this restaurant, included all your drinks and food and everything. We had a ball at it, and the food was great. And you get all these like family style platters, and you get to try all different types of Greek food, and it was delicious. Rob right there in the center, he told me that was his favorite night of the whole trip. Next morning, we'll get up and we will load the motor coach, and we will go to the ship and get on the ship. And there will be on the Apex. That's in the harbor in Piraeus, which is where you board the ship. That's our itinerary right there. Ashad is where Jerusalem is. This is the Jerusalem and Bethlehem small group tour we'll do. You could call it In the Steps of Jesus. We have Nazareth and Galilee, small group. These are included. If for some reason you don't want to go on our group tour or our group shore excursion, I could talk to me. We might be able to move that around a little bit, but I selected these because I think they should be pretty interesting. Then we'll be hitting the Greek Isles, where you always see they're so beautiful and laid back, and they're amazing. I could do nothing but trips to the Greek Isles from now on. I'd be pretty happy about that. And then remember, you got your premium drinks, your Wi-Fi, and your tips are always included on Celebrity. And then after our cruise, we'll take you to the motor coach, and we'll go to the airport for our flights home. So it's all told. I'll be with you the whole way. This is your price for Aqua Class Veranda, meaning you have the blue dining room and infinite balcony. You will have, if you want to book into the Sky Suites, you have Luminae dining and access to the retreat. The Aqua does not give you access to the retreat, but it does give you access to its own blue dining room, which is an excellent dining room. And I've stayed in both, and I love them both. And Carl knows I love the retreat, but I can't stay in it every time, or I'd have to go out of business.
I tell you what, I had one of the best steaks I've ever had at sea, and blue. So you're going to enjoy that if you never had blue.
I love blue so much as even when I'm staying at the retreat and I eat at Luminae most nights, still 2 or 3 nights I go down and eat at blue,
Absolutely.
Which is the only other way you can eat at blue. These pricings are all inclusive of all the package that I've described, and they are per person. You do need your COVID vaccine shot. And the last thing I'm going to show you is grouptripstravel.com. Of course, you can go to our website mgatravel.com anytime and navigate and find this trip. But if you just go to this URL, it'll take you straight to that page, and it'll have all the information and videos and more, everything like that. So Group Trips Travel will take you to that. And on top of Carl's offer, which is he's going to give you $100 onboard credit if you book any of these sailings we talked about. If you book one of our 2 groups, he's going to give you a $200 onboard credit. And if you book into the Athens group with me, I'm going to give you, and this is all booking by the end of this week.
Yep, by Friday. Just because
Okay,
I don't want the space to disappear.
Right. So then we will give you $100 off per person on my Athens group only. And that will apply retroactively for the 2 the other bookings in there.
Absolutely.
So don't worry about that. Okay, well, that's all I have for you. Did you get any questions we need to answer? Just one more. I have pricing for concierge. I don't have that priced out for this group, but just call. We can figure it out if you want. Just remember, you would not be able to dine in the Blue restaurant in the concierge, and otherwise it's a very similar cabin. What do you got? Anything else there, Carl?
I think we have one question about the testing here. Since we fly on a Wednesday the 8th, would we get the PCR test on Monday the 6th? Would that still be okay for getting on the Apex Saturday the 11th? Yeah, the testing requirements is actually to get into Greece. And like to Michael's point, it might be way different come September. We're telling you what it is today. So as we get closer, we'll revisit that, because at the time you folks go, we'll already be operating there for a couple months, and they might not require that negative test anymore. Just like the United States might not require the negative test to get back home. But as of today, yes, you would need that. And I would do it as close to the day that you leave. So yeah, Monday the 6th would be fine.
Yeah. And so the other thing, Carl, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're doing antigen tests on board, which are pretty much instant, like
Right.
a mouse
Absolutely.
swab, and takes like 3 minutes or something.
Yeah, it doesn't go up the nose.
Right. So we could get our PCR test to get into Greece 3 days ahead of time, and then we could get another test as we board if need be.
Right.
The
Absolutely.
antigen test.
And then you'll have the test 1 to 2 days before you disembark, if the United States still requires us to have that negative test to come home.
Right. Exactly. Okay. If anybody else has any questions, drop them in that chat box. We hope you'll join us or give us a call. Give me a call, 843-279-0310. You can email Michael at mgatravel.com, or any agent that you work with here, of course. We all work together as a team, and we work to serve you guys. I hope you can join me on this amazing adventure to Athens, to Jerusalem, to Nazareth, to the Greek Isles. And for those that went with us on the Greek Isles, there's actually no repeat other than Athens, because we didn't go to Mykonos on that cruise. So that you won't have a repeat on your Greek islands, which is cool.
I do see here, can you repeat your group travel site again, Michael?
.com. And if that doesn't work for you, you can always go mgatravel.com, and you've got a vacation finder on there. We have a Bon Voyage catalog. And also I should say that this is not going to be a large group, too large. So don't wait if you want to go with us. Let's get the booking in now. You'll be covered by the cruise with confidence. So,
and I have another question here about where people were getting their tests from. Whatever's the most convenient area next to you to get a negative PCR test. We'll accept all PCR tests. So it doesn't matter what vendor it comes from. So whatever's the easiest, most convenient way in your area to get that test is great for us. I know there's multiple vendors doing it now. So anyone that has a negative PCR test, we will allow, and they will allow.
Yeah, I recently went and got one at a CVS, and there's 2 kinds of CVSs as far as tests. One, they only do drive-throughs, and those are the ones that are not rapid PCR tests. If they also offer a kiosk on site, then you can you'll be in and out with your test results in an hour, and it's not very invasive at all like they used to be. So we'll help you with that. We will be following the Greece protocols as we get closer, or if you're going on one of these early ones, we'll make sure you have what you need. That's part of our job. So,
and I'll be on one of the early St. Martin ones, so maybe we can do another one, or we are doing another one of these. I won't be in by May, but if we need to answer any questions and we just need to do a session for questions and answers before we go, just with the people booked, I'm absolutely open to doing that, because I want to see everybody get back on board, because we are super excited to show Apex off to the world.
I'm super excited to see it. And that's right. We'll be back with this talk on May 18th at 2 p.m. So if you have friends or anybody that might be interested in it, assuming we still have space for Athens by then, we'll be talking about it again. And of course, we'll be recording this. So if you're watching this as a video, just comment or send an email to us, and we'll take care of you.
And if we run out of the group space, we just have to get some FIT space. The price might go up a little bit. That's why we encourage you to book early as possible, because he's got some cabins held at that group rate, but once they're gone, they're gone.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us today, our clients especially, and some of the new faces as well. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate your interest and your great questions and comments. And Carl, thank you very much for being with us today.
Absolutely. And hope to see you guys on board soon. And we'll see you on May 18th.
That's right, May 18th. Thanks for attending CTE Live. All right, bye, everybody.